Let's kick this one off with a big thanks to Logic Servers and to XP Crafted for making this possible right here. Let's log in because we have a server that will let us enjoy all of the seasons, from one place, which is fantastic. This has been set up for the 10th anniversary of Hermitcraft, which has some various start dates based on its inception, or when Generic uploaded his first episode, or when it actually first came to be. So the last couple of weeks you probably would have seen a lot of Hermitcraft stuff going on. This weekend has been when we coordinated doing some streams through these old worlds. We've got a UHC that's going on after this stream. And it also happens to be today, the 24th of April, is when I uploaded my first Hermitcraft episode all those years ago. Now, over the years, I have made nostalgia episodes where in Season 2 I went back to Season 1, and in Season 3 I went to Season 2, and in Season 4 I went ahead to Season 5. What's going on? No, that's not quite how it works. And, I've dabbled and I've engaged in the nostalgia so much that I didn't really want to participate in it this time. But then I kind of thought many of you would like to see that. So I'm here to have a nostalgic look once again for all of y'all. And I've been chatting a lot lately. I've been thinking about how there is this abundance of availability towards nostalgia. It's almost like nostalgic saturation, where you have so much access to things in the past now that it feels a little less golden, a little less special because of that. And that's not how I feel about Hermitcraft. I am constantly enamored and overwhelmed just by how amazing this community is and all the things that we've done together. But that feeling is just how I feel about Hermitcraft in general, right? So it's kind of hard for me to get into that real nostalgic frame of mind anymore because, I don't know, nostalgia isn't quite the same perhaps. Untrustful Fool says X years of X on Hermitcraft. X for 10, yep. We've got a noise in the ear. Phonix Games 101, thank you for 2 months. We also had 2 new Patreons signing up. Alvin Clifton Kitchens and Austin Mead, thank you for signing up to Patreon. I hope you enjoy playing on the Patreon server, which this is not, by the way. This is this is a build here, by the way, that I made. I made the little nether hub building myself. I don't recall building that on the side of it, funny enough. That little blob. Not sure where that came from. Yeah, back in the days where building was very different in this game. Now, going through the nether portal is how you get to each of the different worlds. And I don't really have much of a plan. I think I'm just going to gravitate towards my own base. We're going to spend about 10 to 15 minutes in each world. See what comes to mind. Maybe answer some questions from chat. As I've said, I've done these nostalgic tours over and over again. And I've always been, pretty engrossed in Hermitcraft. Not just playing, but watching. And so much of these worlds just have stories and whatnot and things that, I kind of remember quite well. It looks like there's some blocks missing from around here. Also, can I change my game mode? I can. Corrupted MB, thank you for 5 months. We got My Schubert here for 30. Yokia Huga here for 13. Comboys here for 61. Idyllic Valhalla here for 7. We got Chapter Corey for 21. Moonflea for 37. Santa of Scarva for 26. Cheers and biddies from Danny Labrat and from ITT Tom. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm going to be a little bit quicker on the noises in the ear today, just because I want to focus somewhat on being talkative. So this moment right here is one I'm very fond of. I built these towers for the community to enjoy the resources of, which in terms of SMP at that time playing, these were early days, so people coming along and doing things like building farms for others was sort of a bit new and different, and the design was kind of classic and stayed in the game for a long time. Don't know if it's actually going to work. Does it still work? Yeah, still works. And then down here was the storage area. But obviously you can tell from the scale of the building and the quality of the way stuff laid out. It was a different time in this game. I always think it's interesting to go back and see where people did really interesting builds. This probably doesn't look too remarkable now, but I remember Unhost came on here and built this, and I was like, wow, that's such a different type of build. Keralis was one of the masters, one of the original masters of the modern build, and this was his base back then, and it doesn't have the same sort of charm these days as it did back then, but boy has the game come a long way, right? Not just the game, but the players. And the bread maker too, says Dusk. Ah, right, okay, so I also built a little bread maker thing over here. This will definitely be broken because it just relied on mechanics that don't really work anymore, and I don't know. Hey, a CD place. Then did it give me some? I think it tried to. It's a dispenser. Ah, this was before you had droppers, so it's trying to dispense the bone meal as an action on a block. That's why it didn't give me one. In the past, that would have been a piece of bone meal. Can we get into the nether from here to travel to my own base? Before we do, there's a minigame area back here. Is this Season 2, says Ickle. Kinda. This is Season 1 right now. Mr. Naken, thank you ever so much for the Prime subscription. Greatly appreciated. So there was like a game of Connect 4 over here, I believe. So you could... This redstone might not work anymore. You could kind of push out the block. Then you had a reset mechanism. So it falls on a slab. You go pick up the gravel and reset it manually. Yeah, game of Connect 4. Keralis had a really cool game over here where, yeah, these little obstacles would like open up and you'd have to shoot them and something would happen. But this is just like old old mechanics. So I think shooting the wall block might have activated a pressure plate. And then there's a bunch of redstone back here. Sakaja90, thank you for 14 months of support. Greatly appreciated. We're celebrating 10 years over here. So this was a device, a contraption by Red Eyes, and it could kind of detect the arc of you shooting an arrow, right? And so the idea was, I think, to get the best arc where you light up all of the redstone lamps at the same time. Again, redstone's probably going to be broken. Doesn't look like a bow was provided, but I can change that. That completely unremarkable bridge to the Mushroom Island, says Geek Jokes. Hey, it was a different time. It was 10 years ago, right? Kind of look like... Wait, is there tripwire there? So does this still activate it? Uh-huh. There's some sort of methodology to this. I was hoping for a better shot. There's one or two that lit up the lamps. Some sort of wheat farm thing here. But yeah, this was it. Also, this tree over here, I still get comments from people from time to time whenever this comes up, saying that the tree looks really cool. That was Cube Hamster. He was known as being a redstoner. He came onto the server and was like, I'm going to build a giant tree. Also, some of you may remember that we had a build battle lined up for B-Dubs and Keralis, and there's like a whole bunch of chests just there that had all the resources for that, but it never came to be. What's the IP for the public server, says Rumis? What public server? Morebrick77, thank you for 37 months, my dude. Appreciate it. Someone suggested to use the old texture pack for the full immersion. That is such a fantastic idea. Here's the thing. I don't know where to go looking for that. Oh wait, isn't it built into the game? Programmer art. Huh. Now, that means I might have to undo... maybe not, because new blocks... Oh! God. New blocks won't actually be in the old world, so I don't really have to undo the rest of the... Oh, goodness, wait a minute. We just gave the whole thing like a... It's so weird, because it still sort of looks like the same game. Yeah, the saturation of the sandstone. So different. But the bushy leaves are here, so I'm going to go in... And if we get rid of all of that... Right, so even though the programmer art was above the other ones, it was overriding some textures. It's so... I think the retexturing of the game was really, really well done. Because it didn't even cross my mind that the textures were different back then. It might have caught up to me at some point. I mean, look at the glass. Wow. I think I even had a resource pack to change the glass at this point in time. Why is the hotbar cropped, says Geek Jokes? Because I forgot to resize the window, that's all. Anonymity, thank you for 30 months. Randy Nicole 2002, 84 months. Goodness me, that is such a long time. I can barely believe it. Very much appreciate it, my dude. Thanks for all you do. Randy, I think you've been around since the beginning of Hermitcraft, right? Let's have a look. 10 minutes. So, right, no nether, it looks like. If I am to spend about 10 to 15 minutes in each world, I gotta make it snappy over to my base. Which, again, I've, nostalgically revisited so many times. So, this is my base right here. One of my favourite things from Season 1 was doing this little nether hub project. What we'll do is skip into spectator mode. The hours of grind I used to put into builds like this, which now don't really seem that remarkable or worth doing. It's, I don't know, sometimes I think if you come into the game later, maybe you'll get more value for your time. I don't know, but I love this anyway. It's really interesting nether tunnel because it's suspended by lava, which I think is something you could do today and would still look cool. But this is before all the tricks and gimmicks of going on the roof of the nether were discovered, and look at that, all the fire is from all the gas balls, right? Hey X, what has been your favourite season so far, says Kuski. Every time you ask me, I'll probably give you a different answer. Right now I'd say season 6 and 7 are probably my favourites. Very nostalgic for season 2 though as well. That was a good one. But they're all just amazing, really. Just what happens when a load of people play together. Tons of builds, adventures, and cool stories and happenings. Tuk 930, thank you for 5 months. So if you remember the season 6 Nether Hub, which we'll see in a minute, it was based off of this idea, my season 1 personal Nether Hub, where I built a map of the island that I wanted to build my base on. One of the things, oh yeah, this down here, so it's like map on top, jump down the ladder, portals down the bottom. One of the things I often felt about this base of mine was that I never really got too deep into, fleshing out the world. So yeah, this is just a world download issue where like nether portals don't sync up and stuff. So on the surface, it doesn't look like there's a lot going on because, I built a few projects, did a few things, but ultimately never had the time to really flesh out the entire island, nor did I have much of a plan for it either. Did get to build up this area over here a little bit. As you can see, the building skills are pretty pants, but I was trying different things using different wooden textures. Actually, I think it's pretty good to look at this with the resource pack on because it just gives you like a stronger sense of how different the game looked and how the building was. FR Coast, thank you for subscribing with the Prime subscription, appreciate it. One of my favourite little projects over here, I think early on there are signs of me doing what I do, which is trying to mix redstone with aesthetics. Pretty sure everything you see right here is broken because the water shouldn't be like this. But these were farms where all the cows were pushed in by water. You could breed them one way or another, and then they had special killing chambers to get like drops from them. And it was all about combining something that looked interesting on the outside and giving it a redstone function, which has always been the aim. So we're not going to get very far. How do I get back to the lobby? Isn't there like a lobby command? We're not going to get very far if I linger too long in each world. So the goal... Uh-oh. Don't tell me that I've broken things already. Right. I'm in the lobby? I'm in the lobby. So yes, that Season 6 Nether Hub. That was its inspiration, what you saw a moment ago in Season 1. So, on to Season 2, which was a very long season. A season of 2 halves. This little building here was built by Mumbo. I built the little pumpkin and orange towers again. Let's hop on through. So yeah, this was like a season of 2 halves, so we went to a secondary area. think we'll focus. Oh, I really want to show you all three things here. Season 2 was great, says Folk My. Can I? Hey, we're getting there. Wonderful. Oh, it brings you over to this bit first. Right, that's not where I was expecting to go. So I guess we start with the second half of the season. This was my little base. I believe this was a Kevin Builds, Keyvan, design that I brought onto the server. So I must have my plot world up and running at this point. And I was starting to branch out a little bit, do things like gardens and whatnot. There was a lot in this area. This was like a... There's a big progression here, isn't there? Just naturally, you can see it. Bit more decorative stuff going on. More communal builds coming together. This was us perhaps developing a little more in the direction that we go today. I love what Cleo built here. This is one of the best builds from around here, I think. There's also the remnants of pranks with Shaun the Sheep. And then here is the first ever Hermitcraft shopping district. Lots of these little things right here. I mean, look at Corralis's thing right here. Just totally bonkers. You can see his face on the inside. So this is where we first started to put shops together, which was a really quite sort of innocent and spontaneous idea. And, you know, and then in later seasons it becomes a real big deal. And this even extends around the back here where you got restaurants and stuff. This was a salad bar that I built, believe it or not. Some of these items should be renamed. Napkin, small bowl, large bowl. Cherry, grapes, get your fruit salad on, lettuce, pickle, sweet corn. I don't do anything like this anymore, renaming items that look... Look at how well they're renamed, that's great. That's really great. Lemon, melon, lime. I mean, pretty predictable. Yeah. And then, yeah, there's some mini games over the back here that Mumbo made, and there's actually like a race course that goes through this entire area. We did a lot. We did a heck of a lot in Season 2. Sunny Zero. Whoa, the first shopping district. That's right, the first iteration of a shopping district that we did together. Also, I think, isn't Hypno's base just over here somewhere? Oh, I always remember, like, Hypno had this base, and it was sort of near the racetrack. And then it wasn't until, like, years later where you could have this big view distance, which, by the way, the view distance here is really impressive. Then I realised how close it was to other stuff. So you can kind of experience the old worlds a little different. This is Tango Tech, who joined towards the end of Season 2, by the way. Full symmetry, and oh yeah, look at that. That holds up really well, doesn't it? I guess the idea was maybe that you actually, just stand here. Oh, very clever, Tango, very clever. I mean, I see a little bit of stone there, so I'll knock you a point. The scale is very small compared to now, says Megaraza. Yes, absolutely. The game was played at a different pace. These are UHC apples, are they not? Yes. I used to love that. We had a little system on the first few worlds where we kept track of all the winners and stuff. The golden apples. So, this might not work. I've got a feeling... Oh no! This has the nether hub. That is not the correct way for it to link up, though. Or maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it is that spot. So, we are now travelling through the nether back to the first part of the season. So Season 2 was really a season of two halves. Also, I'm a little behind on the noises in the ear. I think Artemis Malak, that was the last one I didn't read, so thank you for 2 months. Carmex9248, thank you for subscribing. The Arctic Viking, 39 months. Liger, thank you for gifting a sub to Floyn, greatly appreciated. Synthin, thank you for 9 months. That's a Twitch baby right there, isn't it? I still remember stumbling upon you guys when I was younger. Wow, that's cool. Connor Martin Zek, thank you for the Prime. Cedar Unicycle 23, thank you for 3 months. Also, to my mods, if there are any like very interesting questions towards Hermitcraft, that you think more conversational questions, let's say, like I'm a lot of this stuff is very routine to me. Like, I've done the tours a lot of time. I'm very good at talking about nostalgia. I kind of want something to catch me off guard, you know. And I feel like it's not going to happen. I'm going to go around the world, so I'm going to see stuff, and I'm going to know what it all is. And I want something to catch me off guard and make me think different about this stuff. I don't know. So, if there's a question that maybe intrigues that kind of angle at all, I'd love to know it. So, Monkey Farm Skull, remember that, because this season, well, I'm going to be building something soon, which looks a little bit like that. This is a fond memory of mine, Dig for Hire, where you could just hire me to come dig out in your base, and Cleo had me come over and help her dig out a massive area of her base, which was really cool. Like, Cleo's always had like a style that's unique and different from other stuff, so you go back and look at her old bases and they're always just super fascinating. Here's a little communal farm that I built. The door might not work anymore, but it does. And in here, you got all the cows bobbing up and down. You can breed them, collect the drops, yada yada yada. The things I want to focus on here, I'm not really sure. There's like there's the ravine that I half slabbed in the beginning. You got all of these just classic old school build styles. I think, did I build this one here? Or Mumbo might have built this one. I'm struggling to remember here and there. This was built by Corrales. Mumbo's little hub for the nether portals. Except it generated one over here. Yeah, this was the first communal area, so, you know, as you can see, we would take so much more care for the environment these days and laying things out, and this was just a bunch of different builds and houses sort of lumped into the area. And then another project of mine, tree farm area. But the spot that we want to go to, I guess, is probably my base. Of all the bases that I've done, I think this one will always just be quite special. And it will look different with the bigger view distance. And look at me, I still know the way there, right? Spent a lot of time on this world. Visit Topmass's base, possibly, says Japocalypse now. I kind of wanted to just focus on my own bases, just because I would, you know every little bit to talk about. We're looking at Season 2, Sebi Sebo. If you were to start Hermitcraft over from the beginning, what would you do differently, if anything? I think about this a lot, like going back in time and doing things again, but honestly, like, I think that would be one of the most stressful and anxious things that you could do. Like, you could go back in time and bring all these next level ideas that we have today to the game back then, but like, where would you go after that? You know, time moves in one direction, and I think embracing that in a positive way, you know, and having fondness for the past, but looking to the future is the way to go. When I think of like, what if I'd have known what I known then and go back in time and have to redo things? Like, if it's Hermitcraft or if it's real life, I honestly just feel like you got here, and these things turned out alright, and they could have just turned out in a variety of different ways, and I think the problem is that maybe you'd want them to come back round to where they are now. So for me, like, the idea of going back in time and redoing things is just like kind of stressful in my mind. So yeah, I did a lot of grinding this season. I decided that I would create my own biome by ripping out all the sand and sandstone, leaving the stone behind in a natural formation. There are parts of it that are built up from where there are like pockets of water and different types of biomes, so it all kind of looks cool. Like over there, like a lot of that stuff will be handmade by me. And I spent so much time up there that I never really got down to the heart of the base, where, as you can see, you know, grand old entrance. I remember being on the plot world and working with the builders there to create this this look, which was fantastic. And then had all these crazy projects hidden inside these corridors was the idea. Like a sheep farm that rotates all of the sheep around and you sit at the bottom shearing them. Crazy stuff. How long did that take, Xisuma? The wastelands were dug out, says Lord Dizzo. Well, back then I had far less responsibilities. I didn't have to look after my home. I didn't exercise as much. I spent a lot of time just sat at the computer. which I was alright with then, but you know, that doesn't last. So, you know, every day I'd just be like sat down watching movies, enjoying the grind, watching Minecraft videos. I mean, on one hand, it's like, kind of miss it, but then you remember the best bits, right? You always remember the good stuff. And so when you look back and you think, oh, I just lounged around grinding on Minecraft all day. Why can't I do that anymore? It's like, well, it's not the same, is it? So, in one of these directions, we can go see another really cool project I wanted to show you. I'm just trying to get my bearings and suss out which way it is. It's not over there. I think it's this way. Yeah, no, it's this way. I now know that it's this way. Popcorn asks, how long does it take you to get everything ready for the next season? Like making the server and thinking about your ideas for the season. Well, in the past, it usually had like quite a lot of preparation time. I would take any downtime knowing that the next season's coming to prepare builds, create a plan. I haven't done this time. There's also doing all the server prep takes a lot of time too. So I focus more on just doing the prep this season and just trying to wing the season a little bit more. It's so far I've enjoyed it, but it has made me again appreciate like the upside of planning. Anyway, this was a map, right? So you create a map which might still be aligned. So grab this, open that up, have a look at it, and yeah, and that was the Hermit Underground. So that was our first ever rail system. And I believe that that over there is significant as some like secondary line. But you go through and you can visit all of these places on the Hermit Underground, which we maybe could shoot all the way back to, and I could show you that. Anyway, here was a mega grind crazy project. Maybe if I did this today, I'd also be decorating the outside to make it look like something a little more interesting. But this is where zombie pigmen spawn, fall down into water streams, they get crushed. Their items get transported back to me over here. And, you know, this is just like a... If I think of like Season 1 to Season 2, Season 2 I was just kind of all in, playing every day, major grind, and that... This might be way easier to put together today. Back then, I probably had to mine all of the obsidian with just basic enchantments and stuff. So, yeah, I kind of have that feeling towards it, like, you know, just so much time is put into this world. I have no idea where we got to with the last noise in the air. Galaria, thank you for 2 months. MRSN81, thank you for subscribing. And Thick My here for 7 months. Appreciate it. Are you looking forward to any games coming out? I'm not really a gamer, so I've got like nothing on my radar really. I'm sure something will come out. I've got like 1 or 2 indie games that are probably not going to come out for years I'm interested in, but that's it. Scotty Trombone, thank you ever so much for your Prime subscription, greatly appreciated. We got Barnres live here with the Prime. Geoloco, interesting name, I was going to say geological, it's Geoloco. Thank you for 2 months of support, greatly appreciated. And to everyone tuning in, be sure to hit the follow button. 3,000, goodness me, we've got 3,100 peeps tuning in. I haven't been streaming as much lately. And that might change a little bit. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna drop down to like 1 episode of Hermitcraft a week and try something a little different for a while with my episodes. So that means I should have a bit more time to stream and hang out with y'all again. Fox from Netherlands, thank you for 5 months. Benson and Hodges, thank you for the Prime. That name is blatantly based on the cigarette brand, right? Okay, so we came back here to find the Hermit Rail. That was the plan. Right, I've also trying not to like punch out blocks. Like I keep thinking, don't need that portal, punch it. But like, you know, other hermits might be coming on here. Oh. Well, I know there's one up here because I remember working on this rail line over here for a little too long. Yeah, that. See that? That's a rail line right there. Dang. HRN. We did a lot in Season 2. So, THC's base is that way. TFC, gosh. Wow, look at those old school minecarts, eh? So I'm going to go this way, because I think TFC is the end of the line. We got Flied then died. Thank you for the Prime subscription. So these tunnels were not about giving you a scenic view, which is what the HRM would do these days, right? These tunnels were about getting you from one place to the other. I believe there was some fancy redstone that may or may not still work. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. That works. So there's the map. So now we must be at the ribbon, which was Slipgator's base. And when Slip came onto the server and built this thing, it was just like, wow, totally crazy. Just building a mega structure, a giant shape from top to bottom, creating platforms, and then over the season, filling up the platforms with different projects, which often involve collaboration with other hermits and stuff. Very cool way to play. The old big conceptual type thing. Where was the station? It was here. Ewa Walker, thank you for 2 months. Apricot Bubbles, thank you for 4. Everstrew. Sorry. Everstrew. Oh, dang it, I'm terrible at getting these names right, aren't I? Thank you for 9 months. Twitch baby! Appreciate it. So, if this works, now, I think you press the button to go in that direction, and it pushes the one out behind you. The redstone, it would look like, still works, which is kind of amazing. Nico Itib, thank you for the Prime. I'm definitely butchering some of these names, aren't I? The Viking Dane, thank you for 16 months. Greatly appreciated. You tried X? I tried. At least I try, right? Ah, and that didn't work. Probably because of the velocity of the speed coming in. So now we would be at the stables. The horse stables. On this side. Aha. This is where you can measure the speed of your horse and do other things too. This was my little project here. And me having a go at sort of texturing and stuff like that. Very old school approach to it. There's parts of this that are good, parts not so much. One of the things I've learned about doing stuff like this is that you kind of need rules for your blocks, which if you look at it, the soul sand is spaced rather sparingly and the other blocks are put into patches, so it's not all bad, but the game has come a long way. I think we're good on this world. So we will go back to the lobby, which might put us in the nether. Or it's put us in the correct spot. Wonderful. So, after Season 2, a season of 2 halves, we have Season 3, the only one that we've done in amplified terrain, which I thought was fantastic for all its flaws, and something I'd like to see revisit again, but it's not a popular idea among the group, unfortunately. We got Awin's Musing here for 3 months. Thank you so much, my dude. Ardens35 says, does Hermitcraft portray the progression or change or the evolution of social media, YouTube apps through the different seasons? How did HC or YouTube shape one another? What a great question. Yeah, they're kind of very much in line with the general progression of those things. Which might sound like a bit of a straightforward answer, but here's the thing, like, as the times change, things change with the times. Sometimes there are things that you can put your finger on and be like, this was the game changer. This is why it changed. Hermitcraft wasn't one of those things. I think Hermitcraft was very much just a thing happening through the changes in YouTube, the norms, the practices. For example, there was a time where you, on YouTube, wouldn't ever accept donations from your audience, have anything like Patreon or Cheers and Bits subscribers. All that stuff was really frowned upon. That's obviously changed. We've all changed with that. That's the sort of thing that just went along with the times and changed. And you know, Hermitcraft wasn't like a trailblazer for any of that. I think the one thing that we have done to change the game is maybe just by being a consistent SMP and doing really cool things together. To other people out there, there are probably significant things we've done that have influenced how they play Minecraft. That's where I'd say we probably have our influence. So over here, got the old pumpkin towers again, and you know, season 3 is kind of, I think, the last season of that just innocence of building stuff everywhere, linking it all up together for fun. You can definitely see some like better layouts emerging, but that might just be the terrain naturally putting us all on spots where we can see one another, right? And so there's, you know, plenty of interesting stuff to spot from this beginning area. I love the eyeball. The hairy eyeball, to be correct. Season 3, though, was another really long season. It was also through, I think, one of Minecraft's hardest parts, where I think the game kind of looked like, okay, this has happened, this is going to die off and just be some game that happened in the past, right? And so Season 3 had to go through something really quite tricky in that. There was a lack of development of Minecraft, things were very quiet on that front. Everyone was playing other games at the same time, yet we were all still grinding out crazy stuff. The minigames area, this is our first minigame space put together by Tango Tech. It's kind of not surprising that it looks very complete and full of things because the scale was just right. Everyone wanted to participate because it was sort of a new and fresh idea for us. I got to build a stadium, which is something I want to do again this season. I built this one for Impulse, his Iron Golem punching game, which was a lot of fun. And, you know, if you take the time to get the world download and explore, you'll basically find little games here, there, and everywhere. Some of Tango's were amazing, like Boombox was just so much fun to play. A lot of the games can be a little bit like, we're doing this in Minecraft, like my little basketball court over here, right? You run along, you get boosted up, you shoot, and you score. And then the lights come on. You know, not a particularly great game, but some of the ones Tango and some of the other Hermits made were really, really fun. This over here was my little spleef pot arena thing. This was actually a total blast using slime blocks. Probably something worth bringing back and having the occasional game on. This was also me, was it? I seem to remember doing something over at this. What on earth was this game? Oh, it's actually the entrance to this. Right. That's why I remember building it. And then, Hermit Holes by Zul'jin. Right, this has been resurrected in Season 6. Having an actual golf course. And you could play it. It was a lot of fun. It's still probably a lot of fun to play. In this back area, you can see other people's bases, including Biffa's over there. And that's the Slipgator hole with the Slipgator logo. Yeah, we did a lot. We did a heck of a lot together in this little area. Heck of a lot. Noises in the ear. We got Audio Gary's with cheers and bits. Thank you so much, my dude. Saying congratulations on the 10-year memories. What is the most exciting part of the season? A new start, mid-game grind, end-game, season reflection. The most exciting part is always something you don't expect, right? Like, immediately I thought of Decked Out and Hermitron, and like wherever they are in the season, it's the fact that you don't expect them. I think it makes it so fun. So, like, we all know we're going to do builds, we're going to make mini-games, we're going to do projects. Some things happen in between where it's like, oh, I didn't know that was going to happen, and that's an immense amount of fun. And for me also, maybe doing some like Evil X episodes in the past and like breaking the format a little bit was a lot of fun. So yeah, this is the spawn chunks, by the way, where Tango had an iron farm, and I think I built this right here. I tended to be someone who would go and see that there was like some project or something that hadn't been decorated and want to decorate it. Because I kind of like want to tie up all the loose ends when I play in a world. There should also be a portal somewhere around here, but I just can't find it. We've got more noises in the ear. We've got O Gallo Frango here with the Prime. Wait, what, you can't be serious is here for 13 months. And Dewey is here with a donation saying, X, I want to thank you for everything you and the Hermits do. The impact you've had on this world is understated. You bring joy and happiness on a weekly basis. Thank you specifically for your takes. I think you have a great view of the world. Thank you so much for that lovely message, my dude. We also got Ed Network here, bringing Evil X around, who obviously has his story very much tied up in that area, for those of you that know. Yeah, I appreciate your kind words, Dewey. I'm very happy that we can, you know, just bring joy and happiness to other people through just playing a simple game. You know, it's just a game where you place blocks, right? So, the Nether Hub this season was a glorious spot. Also, I feel like we don't have much time. I don't particularly want to go to my own base this season. I spent a lot of time doing projects like the Nether Hub and other things elsewhere, and I think they turned out much better than my own base. Maybe my Season 3 base was the worst, because it had next to nothing done on the top area. The underground had some cool projects in, but it was like just a series of connected shelves. So I love this Nether Hub because it's so mismatch, and it just kind of like froze together. all the different personalities and build styles, and the fact that stuff just get randomly pieced together. This over here, by the way, Full Symmetry really went ham with like building this ginormous nether tunnel, and then this whole like airport complex with loads of details and stuff. And I feel like it was so underappreciated because I like never had the excuse to come down this way that often. There's also another thing that False did in the opposite direction in this nether hub. Maybe that's what we'll focus on for the next 5 minutes. We'll whiz through the nether hub a couple of times and you can see some of the really cool... Hello. Witherbob. Really cool things that False did over here, you know. This is actually a blaze farm if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it's just... No, it's a blaze farm. Oh, dang. That's a different design right there. Yeah, so very, like, decorative. Which I just find... Just feels like... Are builds, like, nether hubs this good these days? Like, I know the build style is a bit, like, square and flat and got that old school feel. But it just kind of feels like we did more with tunnels back then. I think that's got something to do with the elytra, right? Like, if you wanted to travel from that place over there to somewhere else, you just grab your wings these days, right? Whereas back then, you wanted to build a nether tunnel. I hope I'm getting this right. I feel like I'm... No, I'm getting it right. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, I actually think the nether hub might be one of my favourite things this season, just because the patchwork is so cool and interesting, and you know each room gets to represent. You can already tell this takes you to the end dimension, right? That takes you to a witch hut. This takes you to Santa Land, of all things. Birdie J 373, thank you for 40 months. We got Hugh Ren Zone here for 2. I only started the journey at Season 6, so it's super interesting to see all the old stuff. Oh yeah, and well, I'm only scratching the surface right now. I mean, like, there's what you can see, and then there's the adventures that happened along the way too. Like, in Season 2, one of the things that I thought was amazing was Skiz and Pungence. They did an episode where they were locked in the courthouse cellar. And, like, it was so bizarre to me, because I didn't really understand role-playing. Now I've had like a better understanding of it, and I was just watching them create an entire episode of them like being in the cellar, locked up for stealing the winnings of the ABBA game, and yeah, and just making it really fun and interesting. And it was something that I couldn't do, and I was just totally impressed by you know, what they were getting up to. Oh, didn't do that right, did I? Little things like that, you know. You says Skiz, he was never on Hermitcraft. Is it Schism? Pungence and Schism. Huh. I know we're in the right place. You can see something's been done here, right? Yeah, that's more like it. So, False put together this Winter Wonderland. Again, just False... There's so much really cool decorative stuff everywhere. I just don't have the brains for this. I was always just like, build Minecraft farm. Decorate Minecraft farm. This is so cool. Yeah, we did a Christmas area the following season too. It's one of those things that it's been done now, and since then, you know, attempts to create a Christmas area usually fall flat because we've had 10 Christmases. Curd, thank you ever so much for 8 months. Hey X, you're going to be in the UHC. I'm not, unfortunately. I've got a lot to do. Various commitments and things, and I was just thinking, it's like a UHC can go on for a few hours and it's going to be late, and I had to withdraw. I really did want to play it. It was just a bit too much going on for me. I've really been trying to like reclaim some free time as of late, and I'm my usual self. I just find a way to get busy with other stuff. That's one of the reasons I want to go to one episode of Hermitcraft a week. I thought, if I take this mindset of like, every Monday I'll put out the episode, and whatever happens in that week is just what the episode will be. Let's see where that gets us, because at the moment I tend to keep like laying out a roadmap of where I want to go. I want to do this thing, I want to do that thing, and then because I haven't planned ahead, I'm just taking forever to do it, and yeah. Time management essentially is what it is. Look at this terrain, by the way. Just Totally fascinating. Would love to do Amplified again. It probably won't happen though. We got Tallywhacker here for 2 months. Has Xisuma ever been considered to join? I'm not going to comment on who's been considered to join or not. Obviously, we've all got friends that we would love to bring onto Hermitcraft, but that's really just something for us to figure out for ourselves, who we bring on and whatnot. Matt Zabu, thank you for 40 months. Yellow Howard, thank you for 73. Goodness me. And Vadarian, thank you for 2 months. Bean the Red Donnet says, what do you think is your most creative build you've ever done in Hermitcraft? Oh, that is a great question. And honestly, like, I could sit down and think on that for a while. And I think in terms of true, like, my truest creativity for myself. I'm thinking season 5 has got something. Maybe season 6. Honestly, I think it might be season 5, and perhaps we'll get back to that when we get there. 8Prover, thank you for 50 months. Rimmer SDK, thank you for 4 months. I'm glad you're enjoying getting some memories back. That's wonderful. All right, there is one more place I would have liked to have visited. I just realised, the UHC hall. Saw a message in chat about that. Someone's also suggesting that I grab an elytra and a rocket, which I think is. Oh yeah, even the elytra was part of the old school textures. Dang, might be a little more unique. It would have been great actually to try it in this world, especially around Hermit Frills. But remember, these worlds weren't built for the elytra. That actually comes in the next season. Oh, what a great link! What a great link. Curls says, in yesterday's stream, Scart and Cub commented on how some roofs in the early shopping districts were never finished because there was no elytra in game, so no one really cared. It's interesting travelling back in time to see how Mojang's addition have directly influenced the creativity and build demands on the server. Yeah, definitely. You see how the block palettes are shaped by the blocks that are available. Now, for me, Season 4 is a wonderful season. As I mentioned, Season 3, it was a difficult time for Minecraft. The season was long. I wouldn't say it dragged on, but, you know, it kind of looked like Minecraft might be a game going out of fashion at that point. By the way, all of these things are taken from the worlds. This is probably taken from the world, but it's not of anything that was built in the world. It just signifies the mesa, which is an interesting choice. Everyone remembers the mesa. A lot of hermits comment on how little they liked the mesa. I personally loved it. I didn't have a problem with it at all. But yeah, Season 4 was special because I feel like as Minecraft has started to fade, it was a season where I think we gained a lot of attention as a group, perhaps. Minecraft was, you know, long gone, and there wasn't too much else out there in the ways of SMPs playing together. This is a product of me building on my plot world, trying to become a better builder, and it's a bit like shabby and odd looking, but you can see I really tried to do something interesting, and it was the roofs that turned out. There were like there was like rules and a process to how these shapes would emerge, and so I would plug through those and create several different roof designs built out of terracotta and develop a gorgeous little part of the mesa. I think the decorative style of all these kind of details sort of suited the warmth of the mesa too. I built a lighthouse, I think. Or did Beef build that? I think I built that. I built whatever this is. Some sort of farm. And then we had the Guardian farm. So this used to be an ocean monument. And this was just a brilliant way to turn it into something totally different. Look at those patterns down there. And look at that melting ice. For me, it's underneath this where I got crazy technical. I did actually have some plans to rip out every block of bedrock, which has been replaced by deep slate, interestingly, because it's 1.18. So I guess Season 4 now has new caves below it. Yeah, I built some really high-end technical storage system down here, and, you know, that's just how I play, isn't it? So, this was a season where we intentionally brought back a shopping area. Leading into it is Logwarts. Me and Rem put this together. Oh, it looks so. This build right here holds up really well. I think all the proportions are just right. So even though you could probably do a little better with some of the detailing on the roofs and whatnot, it's got the right kind of dimensionality to it. So yeah, talking about the roofs, when you get up top, you see that it's just kind of left alone. This is actually the season where we got our hands on the elytra for the first time. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Hey Prova, thank you for 50 months, and Naya314, thank you for 12. Greatly appreciated. Oh, I built this little bit here. Did I? Yeah, Xisuma's gold shop. Why do I feel... What was the story behind... Where did I get all this gold from? I just, you know, I build farms. So I must have built a gold farm. I think that was some of my, yeah, gold advertising as well. So this is how you'd normally see it. This right here, by the way, this was an attempt at creating a banner shop where you would have a repository of banner designs, and it's an idea that I always feel is like really undervalued. And if the Hermits sort of pulled together their banner creating in a season and put it in a repository place, then you could have like a really good stash of different designs. Looks like I built out the infrastructure for a lot of storage and then it never really went too far. Here you go. Some of these designs I think were pulled from the previous season. Yeah, from like the nether hub. Anyway, like you could do all the basics like, you know, your ABCs, your 1 to 3s, your alphabets, your numbers. Someone built a carrot shop and then I pranked them with a golden carrot shop. Dang! Yeah, we had fun in Season 4. Season 4, for me, just a real joyous sprint of creativity and fun shared among everyone. So many things. We built the dang land over here. This was a mini game that I made and possibly never finished or even played. But we had this spot in which to create, you know, mini games. This is all Efo and Doc, and we had a lot of stuff spread out like farms. Oh, that might be me. Another game of mine. This HHH thing. What was that? It was, I think it was a game where you like yoink in random items. Something like that, using a fishing rod. And then over here, the Death Star, right. So there's Mumbo's Death Star Arena, which was an Elytra PvP game. Very much a spontaneous and fun kind of, let's see what this does. And then we all got together and dug out this giant hole down here and did it underground. And there's actually items that drop onto these fence posts that you have to fly by and pick up to gain points. It's one of those ones where I don't know like where we ended off with this game. There's quite a few games like that. You look back and you think, did we really like fully explore this? Enjoy it as much as we could have? Is this a game we could bring forward to a new season? I think if we were to take the time to look at old games, we could probably find a lot of ones that are worth bringing back again. You even got chess over here. I really enjoy playing chess. I play it against the computer on my iPad. Tim Tall Guy, thank you for 26 months. Bronze Dolphin, 97 here for 17. Season 4 was probably my favourite season as when I discovered Hermitcraft, and it's also very nostalgic. Blue Bottle 77 for 67 months, saying still remember those times. Thanks for the great content. Yeah, I think Season 4 was a really wonderful season where everything just went really well. So many cool things were built. Yeah, you know, you talk in terms like what's your favourite season. They're all different and unique. There's one season I think you could point at and go, there's nothing but like just really great, good memories everywhere here. Season 4. Maybe it was Season 4. There was a Winter Wonderland in Season 4. This was one where we all sort of pulled together and put some cool builds. But since then, I don't think we really pulled it off. Season 6 had a bit of a winter theme area. Again, this looks like a mini game that's probably got some merit to it. Dang. We've made so much stuff together, it's incredible. The mini games were good, says Galactic Nova. Yeah, they really were this season. I remember some at EFO's. We should swing back over there quickly. Some at EFO's were really cool. There was one where like you had to flip buttons to manipulate water streams and like corral these different items into your corner, something like that. I think it was this building. Oh, was it done with pressure plates like this? So... yeah. Like, you could probably bring this one back. So, I think items get randomly dispersed, and then it's up to the player, or players, to, you know, corral those items in their favour. Dang. Dang in the dang land. Oh, and then Tango's game over here. This thing took so long to like make, and I think we only played it a handful of times, which is one of the problems with Minecraft minigames, is that they do end up getting played a handful of times. Cub also built an Elytra fly course this season. It's funny when you go back and you see these things from future seasons, like Grian's flight course, and then you realise, oh wait, that actually been like done back then. Like we did the shopping season back in the shopping area in season 2. This was my manual do-it-yourself sheep farm for the community, I believe. And then over here, Cub the Madman building Yellowstone, creating a biome with obsidian. I mean, Cub had just joined Hermitcraft, as had Scar, and the two of them were just over here just doing insane next level Minecraft stuff. Like look at this little area down here, full of colour, full of life. Scar was doing this much less contrasty, very well paletted look for a mesa back here. This fits in. That you could whiz over and, oh, look at that, and wow, look at that down there, and this just blends in very subtly, these train stations with all the wood. Yeah, it's got like a subtleness to it, even though like it's really large scale and massively impressive. And then you got the train track that just disappears into nowhere. Yeah, so many cool things. I love how squashed together everyone was as well. I think that was a great thing. We complained about it a bit at the time, but it's become a charm of the season, really. And then you got Mumbo's flying base back over here. Mumbo used to love building these big, like, conceptual shape bases. Oh, and then this over here is a witch farm that I built just outside Mumbo's industrial area. Dang. So cool. I noticed we're getting some lag spikes as we go over chunks. I've actually got a mod running client side that's supposed to stop that from happening, but the fact that I'm in an old world might just mean it's not possible. If you're wondering what these little cubes are, you might notice from time to time, that's the Hermitron Go game that Ren put together. Let's crack open a box since we found one. What we got? Nerd, Sunstring, Kidney, Granny, Tollip, and Cobbles. They're all collectibles in the game. Alright, so we got Blue Bottle 77. Oh, we read that one, but thank you again. Thank you again. Bella T, 43 months. Jopri Bond, 13. Anna Bomb Banana for 24, 2 years. Pyro Lily Tails, thank you for subscribing. Greatly appreciated. We got Mind of Me saying, X, is there any build you would want to reimagine with the current block palette or current mechanics? Ooh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Again, there's just a treasure trove of things to think about. I would say probably my Season 2 base is the sort of concept I'd like to revisit with some of the mechanics and things today. Maybe the Season 5 one as well. I'm going to start work on this season's base very soon. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out because it's a much looser idea. And I have effectively less of a direction or an idea for it. Oh, this knows where we're going next. We're going to Season 5 next. So, Season 5 is known for having some amazing things in it, but also having a few flops as well. Like the Big Dig and the shopping area didn't quite work out. And the fact that we were all spread out, I think, hurt us in the long run. So Season 5's like a bit of a bittersweet season. We could have done things better. We're all evolving as Minecraft players, but perhaps the way we were bringing it all together didn't quite pan out so well. So, Good Times with Scar put all of this that you see above and below ground together. I mean, just an incredible area for a nether portal. Tango Tech Space is off in the distance. I think my client might need restarting. Where are we at on the heaped memory? That's why we're getting lag spikes. I've got too much heaped memory. So I'm going to boot up another one while this one's running. And then we'll relog in. The Big Dig looks great though, says Jetpack Jan. I agree. I mean, Scar put so much time and effort into that. If he has any resentment towards it, he's more than justified. I do wish, though, he would see how amazing it turned out. Like, this is just supreme. One of the most... Okay, this is getting ridiculous, these lag spikes. Okay, so we wait for the next client to load up, which is now doing. We got noises in the ear. We got Alex Script here with the Prime. Thank you, Alex. Greatly appreciated. We almost got 4,000 peeps tuning in today. Be sure to hit the follow button over here on Twitch, as I will be streaming on a regular basis. Okay, shout out again to Logic Servers. Thanks for putting this together. Thank you to Xisumavoid as well. Very kind of them to put this together again. I don't know if I should press this again, but I will do anyway. And we'll head on back into Season 5. It would be nice if you add some museum at Season 9 for each hermit. Of course, it depends how long the current season, I think. It would always be nice to put something like a museum in. The problem with, like, wanting to unify things is that the season will end. You know, there will be a Season 10, and it's, like, hard to put things like that into a world knowing that it's temporary. I think what would be more interesting is having a permanent Hermitcraft world for things like that. Like, imagine a creative world, like, called Hermitcraft Compendium, where we kind of take the time... Uh-oh. I got no permission, so if I do /lobby, I thought I pressed that button to get the game mode stuff. Right, I don't like that I'm in survival here now. Okay, I think I'm gonna log out and log back in, and it should hopefully put me back at the beginning. No, it's put me here. Let's see if I can just throw myself into the void. No, I'm gonna die forever. Uh-oh. What if I can't die in this world? Oh no, I can't die in this world. Wait, what's my coordinates? Ah. Oh, I know what the problem is. I know exactly what the problem is. I'm on my other account now. Great. And I also can't die. Well, I can fix this. I can fix this. I'm going to sit down for a bit. I've been standing. Oh. Right, that feels better. Nice one, X, says the original Venom. Thanks. Thanks. Who would have thought? I load it back up and I'm in the wrong account. Right, and now I'm sat. Oh, that feels better. And we're not going to have much time to go around this season at all, really, are we, at this rate? Aha! It seems to remember that I was over here. Wrong buttons have been pressed. Ooh, there we go. There we go. So, back to where we're at. You know, this was an incredible build by Scar. I think it broke him a little building it though. And it's a shame we never really got to fully utilize it. So the idea was that rather than selling items, you sell services. And it was hard to get people to embrace and use this from one another. Unfortunately, you know, just selling stuff works. Like, I built a storage shop, so the idea was that you can put in an order for some sort of storage thing that I'd come and build at your base. If you're like, hey, I need an auto sorter, then I got ya. Splash of Colour, this was by Cub, right? Oh, that's right. Yeah, so service order, so it's probably a case of like, Cub will come and colourify your base, or something like that was the concept. Okay then. We got another noise in the ear from Happy Cat for 5 months. Thank you so much, Happy Cat. So what do we go and check out this season? The season of us being separated from one another, building mega bases. That's a good point, actually. This season is like your first inception of mega bases, and Tango's one was just utterly incredible, but it remains unfinished, as many of ours did. Oh yeah, his iron farm where the evokers kill them. That was super cool. If we go in this direction, one thing we did really well together is the gaming area. I thought that this turned out ever so well. We had, you know, just like all these mini games rammed together with a cohesive aesthetic experience. Hermit Flies was fantastic. It's like a little bit like squashed into this small space, but it makes it super fun. This is the kind of thing I could play right now. Oh, wrong buttons. So if you start over here as the player with an elytra, you had to... There we go. Up to 2. See, fail immediately. To 2, down to 3. I mean, it required some serious skill to get this right. 4 to 5, down to 6, 7. Oh god! And then I'm out. I played this for ages. That's another thing for getting people to play a game is make it something where each time you play it you get a little better, but you got to keep gunning for that high score. Also, one of the best games I think ever on Hermitcraft. This one right here, Chorus Chaos, was so much fun. It was so much fun. It was like you got teleported by the chorus fruit in and out of these little rooms while you were trying to grab items and burn other people's items, and it was just a bunch of craziness and a really fun mini game. This right here was Tango's Twister or Twizzler or something. The Tangler. I think it was a series of rooms with like questions and challenges. Yeah, I think you had to play it with a partner as well, perhaps. And so yeah, there's many floors, there's lots of redstone, and there's all these little puzzles that you have to do. Super, super cool. So that I think turned out really, really great this season. We also got Is That Sheep Staring at Me? And a little raceway that goes through the whole area. A lot of really cool stuff going on in this spot. This, by the way, jump and dash, that actually starts like somewhere else. It goes like underground for all the other bits. It's like a little parkour race course between 2 beeps. Yeah, it was super good fun. If we fly off in this direction, we'll find our way over to my base. And looking at the time, I've probably got to wrap it up, so I'll give you a quick few thoughts on my base. It's somewhere over here. So, Full Symmetry's amazing base nearby. Again, all about the mega base, right? And this was like a city. Like a city had been built. And then over here, I never got to finish my base, but the idea was that I would have all these little mini biomes surrounding the main central island. This to me always strikes me as like having the potential to be the best base. Like if I'd have got the time to finish all the mini biomes, the inside was so fantastical. And like the technicality of it all as well. There was so much amazing redstone going on. Lots of redstone farms. The way it was all put together, just incredible. Yeah, season 5 was kind of bittersweet. We're all separated, but we're all pushing things to the next level, I guess you could say. So back to the lobby we go. Weather Marmalade says, what seasons would you suggest people only starting with Hermitcraft to watch? Are you think are more entertaining or capture the overall tone or spirit of the series? I don't know what it's like to be a viewer who will go back in time and watch old seasons, but I think you just got to dabble a little bit. I think you'll find that season 1 and 2 are probably kind of, maybe season 3 too, are a bit long gone from the tone of how videos are today. But season 4, 5, 6, 7, they all got a lot to offer. But I think season 6 is where we kind of hit a new stride. So let's go through this diamond portal. I've got a feeling. Oh yeah, look, the other ones aren't even portals. So this season was our longest. Season 2 was the longest before it. This one went on for almost 2 years, I think. Oh dang. And I could say this is nostalgic, but this practically feels recent, right? Like season 6 was the beginning of a new chapter. And so the concept was that we would have this giant like land mass that almost looked like the shape of a 6 in a way, and that we would theme different areas and put builds themed to them in those spots. So as far as people's individual bases this season, there weren't really like a lot of them outside of this main area. That is a gorgeous build. The Dragons, Tango made that. This is where we had a Christmassy area and we brought back mini golf. Remember we saw that in Season 3? Well, I brought it back over here in Season 6 and the other hermits pitched in. We're making this. This is a lot of fun to play. There are some mini games that you can go get the world download and have a lot of fun with it. We've also got the Hermit rail network running through the middle of this. And seeing it with the massively extended view distance is interesting. Also, had the game been retextured at this point? I think it had. Or maybe... Yeah, I think in Season 6, it either happened midway through, or it was there from the beginning. But the way we did it is that we knew the textures were changing, and so we used the resource pack. Blocko says midway. I think what we'll do then is go back to normality here. So we'll turn that off, and then I think it goes... that one on the bottom, that one, that one, that one. Yeah, that looks like it. Anna says the golf was a cool collab project. Yeah, it's always good to collaborate. Nope. Oh, I think I broke a rail. And yeah, look at this. The Hermit rail network goes through and just lets you see all the beautiful places on the server. I mean, we were talking about if you wanted to go back and watch a previous season, you can't go wrong with Season 6 and 7, really. They were just both wonderful strides of creativity. Which, as I said, I believe it really started to pick up its pace on Season 4. This, by the way, this build haunts me a little bit because I was like, okay, we talked a little bit a while back about cataloging things in the game. And when the tag game was happening, I was like, we need a place, oh yeah, the armor stands, to show the story of tag, right? So we've got like the little murals over here showing the different instances of it taking place, and we needed a record that the audience could interact with. And I kind of dropped the ball on this because what really needed to happen was the game to keep going. But there are like these links where you can go see how the tag exchanged from one person to another. Is there also an exit to this that's been built? I didn't build this. I think someone else built this. But yeah, it's kind of bittersweet because I just took so long building this. It was a crazy build for me. It kind of put the game on pause a little bit. Which was a learning lesson. You got the legendary Concorp over here. Incredible build. Incredible base. Just full of all kinds of luxury madness, including a diamond beacon. Which is literally... I don't know if you can really see it, but like a diamond. There's also a bunch of beacons. Got little signs of the electricals going around the back. See, on Season 6, not only did we have like a concept, I think we really kind of fleshed it out. There probably wasn't too much left to do in the way of like finishing everything. There's a few empty patches here and there, but there's just so much life and stuff going on. The industrial district was amazing too. All of us like working on the same wavelength to put together similar looking builds. In a spot, you had the Civil War go down over here, right next to the Tower District, which a lot of people comment as being my base. This was just an area I built farms in. My base was somewhere else. Well, the truth was I didn't really have a base. I just had a central storage system. But this over here is often identified as being my base. And then Python next door built some towers too, and we had like a bit of a yin-yang with the dark and the light going together. He also built that tower of mine, I think. I can't remember if I built one of his in exchange. That's got to be hand-built. That was Stress Monster, I believe. This area right here, it's funny, I can go to places and hear records. I was listening to Billie Eilish when I built this rail line and did this area here. That just really sticks with me, like certain like records that you're listening to while you're doing various projects or whatnot. That was one of them. Yeah, and there's just stuff everywhere. Like, there's no shortage of flying around and just seeing like so many things crammed together. They've all got stories. This one right here was a shop of mine that I was quite fond of, because you know, you got the Xisuma turtles, right? But then inside, it's also a shop, is it? Should get some conduit power in here, but apparently not. We're on Season 6, for those of you asking. We are on Season 6. FW Games, thank you for 35 months. How's my day been? Very busy. Very, very busy. Caps Lock Zero, thank you for 2 months. Greatly appreciated. One of the things that has been commented on as being a bit of a, I don't know, a flop maybe this season that I thought was just so much fun was this, the stock exchange. This was just so much fun. Also, that right there is actually like my sheep. Oh god, let's talk about creativity. We had a question earlier. Oh yeah, the idea. Okay, so season 6 has 2 halves like season 2 did, didn't it? Wait, how? To what extent did I close this down? Like, hang on, we can make this easier. We can make life easier here. Ah, okay, no, it was water columns that took you down to here. This was what I was expecting to see. So this was a shop where you swim through, like, there you go for creative. Like, that's really weird, isn't it? That's really, really weird. You get all the way up to the top here, and that's where the chests used to be. But, like, stuff like that just, it brings so much to this area. And yeah, the Hermitcraft stock exchange was wonderful. This build was really challenging for me to make. That was my, like, smelting service, if I recall correctly. That was another thing that I built, the Hermitcraft Statue of Liberty, Statue of Hermity. Scar's incredible offshore builds alongside Cleo's incredible offshore builds. We had a pirate area. Oh my goodness me. It was just endless fun. We had a movie studio, of all things, this season. And look at this over here. Like the sort of Asian Japanese area. Looking incredible. Wow. Whoa, the view distance, says Simpson Fan. Yeah, the view distance for this has been really impressive. I'm experiencing these worlds a little different from how I have them in the past. I'm really interested to know what it's been cranked up to, because this server is delivering the performance. That is for sure. Maybe it would struggle if you know, you had a whole bunch of hermits playing on at the same time in different parts of the world. Thing is, this is probably going to be a spigot server as well, whereas we have to play on a vanilla server. So the more modded the server is, the less vanilla it is, but then you can add in all these performance increases. This, by the way, this was going to be our project with the bees. Me and Mumbo were going to have, like, I build this and then he comes in and builds the bee farm, right? And then that never materialized because we moved to the next season. So this right here was my storage area. As I said, I didn't have a base, but this was sort of the heart. And just really trying to do something different. That's what's that's where a lot of the best stuff comes from, I think, is when you have a vision, you try and do things differently in this game, and you can introduce something that doesn't look like anything else, you know? Why won't hermits use performance increasing mods, says Stein. Oh, we do. I got a whole bunch of performance increasing mods, but it's like, what ones are you going to use? Because some will deter from the vanilla game quite heavily. This, by the way, is just me putting in all the treasure maps into a room together. A little bit silly. My storage system, still very fond of this one. Just, not only did I have what was in my ender chest, but like I had this additional panel of, like, if I need a project with flowers, these were always just sitting around waiting for me, and they were like the first things over here to get sorted. Then I had a bunch of bulk items, I guess. Came over into this spot. Season 6 was before Sodium. Fabric was brand new and in alpha at the time. Yeah, that's probably about right. However, you know, obviously now I'm experiencing the same world with those mods running. Looking at this makes me want to go farm items, says Algez. Yeah, I mean, we've certainly built a lot of farms. So, there's one thing I can think of that we haven't seen that we need to see in this world, and then I'm just wondering, is there any projects that we did far away from the main island, or something I'm forgetting? Where did we put games this season? I feel like I'm forgetting something important about this season, you know? Oh yeah, look, this is the Hermitcraft Rail Network, like, station over here. I think there were several of these, actually, now that I think about it, but yeah. Right, so where's the, where can we find a nether portal? If I head over here, I'll remember this area well. I love the kelp farm here, by the way. The kelp tank was awesome. And then this was so over the top to build so much cactus farm. Like, why? Why? That's what I think. You know how there's easier ways of building farms now? I think one of the things that makes you want to do things easier is because I don't ever want to build a cactus farm like that again now, right? Makes me wonder, like, if you knew you were going to play in a world for 3 years or 4 years, like, how that would change your approach to it. Ah, 1.14 area. I definitely forgot something, yeah. Okay, so this nether hub, as I said at the beginning of the stream, my Season 1 world had its own little mini nether hub for my area, which was probably like sort of that amount of blocks, what we're looking at right there in size. And that was to cover my little island. And the idea is that you drop through the floor and then there'd be another network of portals. On this season, though, the portals are up here on the surface. You've got signs to tell you what they're for, so that's like commercial area. Over here, you've got Biffa. Then you've got Grian, Mumbo, somewhere around here. What is this thing? I wonder. Oh, it's actually my farm. Huh. I did think like, oh, I seem to remember making that banner, and it's like, oh yeah, it's because it's your farm. It's like some towers right there. I believe that's Python's towers, my towers for Tower Bay, and Impulse's base over here, the industrial district. So everything had, you know, its own banner design. Up the top here, you could fly up, you could see the moon above Hermitcraft. And then you could pick a direction to go in. And it's this way that you get to the next area. This is honestly the best nether hub with the map and also the banners, says Zinoba. Yeah, I've seen some really incredible nether hub designs, because I did a lot of research into them at one point. You can definitely do some really impressive stuff. I would say this one, the area down below, is great for functionality and having a visual representation. Ah, yeah, this is just my raid farm and shop in the middle of the track. So yeah, like every you know nether hub is going to have its strengths and whatnot, but it was just so amazing to be able to fly around, look down at where you wanted to go. It's another reason I think this season's just so amazing. Is just stuff came together so well. Right, so now that we're over in this spot, I'm remembering that there were even like mini games and stuff over here, right? Hermitland, there you go. Oh, that's a strange place for the portal. Dang, this place got built up, right? There was the build battle. Whew. Everyone came along and built some buildings down the bottom here. We opened up IDEA. Based on IKEA, obviously. The Pillager Church building, this was me right here. Whenever I do building, I'm always so, like, cautious of my own building, right? Like, I'm always trying to do better, but I always feel like I'm a step behind others. But it turned out alright. It turned out alright. This also used to say Hermitland, but now it says By Ice. Yeah, so over here there was some, like, real storytelling stuff going on. Minigames were in places. You got the Star Wars TIE Fighter, Doc's incredible UFO fortress. What on earth ever this thing actually is. It's just amazing to look at. The hippie land. There was just a lot of storytelling and building that took place in this space, right? Demise, says Red Cat Jack. Ah, there's another one we could go check out, yeah. Also, what is... Oh, that's BOO's base, isn't it? Off here in the distance. This was very inspiring, this space. Looks very, very cool. Oh, with the fossils as well. We should go check that out. How long was the season? I think almost 2 years, says Jane Coy. Yeah, almost 2 years. Dang, look at that. What a cool thing to put in the world. Some sort of fallen monster unearthed. Yeah, it was almost 2 years. Like I said, it was the longest next to Season 2, I believe. Dammy Sus says, I don't know why people are talking about nostalgia. Season 6 was just 3 years ago. Well, yeah, as it gets closer to the current, our definition of nostalgia will differ from one another, right? For some people, that's a lot of time, especially if you're young. Dang, all the mini-games. All the mini-games. This escape room over here, I played that with Keralis. That was an absolute blast. Like, this could be done again, I feel like. I feel like there's lots of things in Minecraft you could use to make an escape room, but essentially, like, an entire adventure took place in this one room, and you had to decode all of, like, the mysteries in the room. And you know what? Again, one that you could just download the world and come play yourself. This would be really worth checking out, because if you haven't seen it and you don't know, like, the solution, it is so cool. Joe Hill's built his roller coaster with the scaffolding, which is just such a good pick for the aesthetic. Got the Speedy Pines Raceway. This one, unfortunately, excuse me with a burping. I'm not long since eating my dinner. But yeah, like, came a little too late in the season, really. It was all prepped up to, like, everyone would have their own little, what do you call them, pit stops over here, and sponsored different vehicles for the boats. There was a lot that could have been done with this, but it just came a little too late. Ravager's Run is a really great mini-game that you could play again and again. In fact, we played quite a few rounds of this, and it's one of those ones that'd be nice to play again, because it's just so much fun. So yeah, you have to come into here and seek out different items from different rooms, I think. Like, I remember coming up into, like, a room like this and finding... There you go. So, like, I remember it now. The colours of the concrete represent the ones you have to get. So you can kind of customise the game a bit, I believe. The amount of concrete to collect and what colours, right? And then you go in and both teams have to compete to run around here and find the buildings of that colour and pick up the wall block from it. The obvious thing is that there's Ravengers everywhere that you've got to avoid. So it's a pretty crazy game. Pretty darn crazy. This is Boombox 2 over here, which I think, again, like the first Boombox, did not play enough, because it's just such an amazing little mini game where you run around in the water and place down the TNT and try and blow one another up. Also got 4,600 viewers. Be sure to hit that follow button, everyone, and catch more streams from me in the future. From Season 9 of Hermitcraft. Goodness me. Goodness me, it's Season 9, is it? So this over here was my little mini game. Which... yeah, okay. I can't quite remember, but... okay, it makes a path for you, doesn't it? Is it going to work? Okay, wait, it's working. Oh, the server's redstone might be slow or something. I wish to play! Yeah, I remember this one being like one of those mini games where once I figured out the concept, it was really good. And then, like, as I started to implement it, it kind of had, like, some flaws that were tricky to get around, but it kind of looks like that turned out alright. I'm impressed it works. So this one is faster. I can't remember how this redstone stuff works, but there it goes. It looks the same, but it should technically be a bit faster. Oh yeah, and look, the block speed picks up based on what colour it is. Oof. Oh, gotta be quick there. Oof. It kind of looks like it left a lot. Oh, it's been set off multiple times, that's why. So then you got a I'm gonna skip over this one. Oh wait, is that the last one actually? Oh. No, there's one more. So let's do the last one now. It should be relatively fast. Whenever it starts. Oof. So yeah, as... ooh. Oh! I'm in the lava now. What happened there? Yeah, you get the idea. It was pretty cool stuff. Also, here's a game. Here's a game that I think was a little on the underappreciated side, right? Maybe it was my fault, like, not expressing how to play it or what the point was. But, like, 5 ways to die, okay? You have to kill yourself as quick as possible in each room. Yeah, maybe I didn't explain this very well. Like, this one here, It's about understanding the game mechanics, like where are you going to jump down and take the most damage and whatnot. This room looks a little underwhelming, maybe a bit of a poor start. But yeah, there were like multiple different ways to kill yourself, and so you had to be attentive and figure out which one's going to get set off. It's this one over here. Bang, take damage. I thought this was really great, and I thought it would be the sort of game you could replay because you could get familiar with it and then try and get better scores. And some, like, based a bit more on strategy, like on this one, you kind of want to find, if I remember correctly, this one that's like closest to the exit or something. And then you've got the swimming room, and then you got the elytra room. I thought it was fantastic, but it didn't really get played a lot. And I thought it might be one of those ones that you could play over and over again and try and get a better score. That's like the holy grail. That's like Decked Out. Is like, how can you get people to really want to just play this over and over again? I love the idea of this one. I think you could do it again and expand on it, says Cheesiest. Well, I remember having a big spreadsheet of different ways to die and then how to gamify them. And I can't remember if I picked my favorite or the best ones, or if I just picked the most practical ones. But there are probably more mechanics in the game now, and yeah, it probably could be revisited. Trooper2531, thank you for 4 months of support. Ecloguest, thank you for 2 months. Phantom's Logic, thank you for 16. Atom at 7k, thank you for 16. So much nostalgia, you love it. Awesome, my dude. So yeah, what an incredible season. Again, we talk about the best. Season 6 was just remarkable, really. It really was. There's just so many good things. Dig Straight Down was a really cool game. Just such a, like... Sometimes people build games and you're like, that's so obvious, but like, that's what's brilliant about it, is that it's actually just really simple. But like, it's hard sometimes to think of simple things, especially when you're doing mini games. You get overcomplicated too quickly. Oh, that was the color machine, right? Anyway, I think we should move on to season 7 now. I think I'm going to skip season 8. I just don't see the point since it just happened. Also, I'm burping a lot. Excuse me. Cowboy Up, thank you for 2 months. Love for all the hermits. Thank you, my dude. Oh! We're in season 7. Or hang on, are we? Wait, I totally just... oh, here we go. Right, I think now we're in season... I think, like, the lobby took me to the season 7 bit and put me behind it. Right. This is the actual season 7. Okay. I don't even know where y'all want to go. Peeps are saying season 7 was my favourite. Right, so season 7 was just like a continuation of season 6's just unleashing of the creativity. And I think one of the things that made this area right here very special is that we had the concept of a communal shopping area from the get-go. Although we'd done that last season, we really made it heart of the season, and I think that's why this area is so special. Another reason why I think many people love this area is because we had a huge surge in viewership, and that was caused by the pandemic, which is obviously not a great reason to have a lot of people coming along and watching. But it did obviously help make the season special. Like, we were all going through a tough thing, and you know, we could just knuckle down, do our Minecraft thing, and everyone could enjoy it together while we were going through some tricky times, you know. So that made season 7 special in a sort of unfortunate way, I guess. The season 7 Nether hub was this, which is a beautiful build, but it was a very lonely Nether hub. I don't recall there being much up the top either. There's a way to fly up here with your elytra. Okay, yeah, I remember these tunnels. I remember this Nether hub now. So we were trying, I think, to take advantage of the elytra in the Nether again, but it just didn't quite pan out. However, we did end up with a very competent set of tunnels up the top, linking everyone together and giving us a way to navigate. So I've obviously come to my base first of all, taking advantage of the Nether blocks that were added at that point in time. Let's just skip round the portal. So my Nether hub, the concept was that it was an upside down tower, and this tower looks like the towers in my base, right? I loved this concept so much If I could have had more time or like more energy to expend creatively, I'll show you the part of my plan that I scrapped. Okay, so let's go into creative mode. We got 2009 here with the Prime and Catkin63 for 54 months. Thank you so much for your support, peeps. Can you see decked out, says Brett. We will absolutely do decked out. Right, so the concept was, and we're going to see it with that enhanced view distance, concept was simple. Okay, I'm going to go into the jungle and I'm just going to build towers, abstract towers that pop out of it. And I'm going to fly around my base with an elytra, so they're all going to have landing bays. This tower right here is literally an AFK spot that you stand in to optimize a squid farm over there. This crazy building, the one that we built first, just another spot to land in and then, you know, use some other farm over here. If you watch the season, you remember what these things are. This is my main storage area. I ditched having a redstone storage area. I didn't do that in Season 8 either, so it's been a while since I've had a proper redstone storage system. But one thing I've learned is that doing it manually, if you keep on top of sorting out your junk, is not too bad, really. It's a bit of a time sink, but, you know, it's nice to have things organized. So, the part of the base that I never really got to flesh out was what was going to happen down below. So where all these paths were, I was also going to build like a little villager city and have lots of little builds down at the bottom area. In fact, I think we built something and then tore it down at a later date. I remember there being this little honey vat type thing somewhere around this space, and later on I went back and I tore it out because I was like, I don't want to have one little building down there. And then, oh wow. And then there's Corralis's base. This right here is actually a bamboo farm, which I deliberately made look like a bamboo forest. That was a totally different way to do, you know, farms in Minecraft, right? I spent a lot of time coming over the back here and putting in extra little bits of bamboo that could grow up to kind of disguise the shape of the farm a little bit. So yeah, like you're finding a way to do things flip side, like rather than, you know, here's a big redstone farm and I'm going to decorate it. It was more like, how can I make this look like it's not a farm, right? This building was fun to put together. Inside it was like the Season 2 Nether Portal project. Doing it this time though, the game had changed. It was easier to get resources. This was nowhere near as grindy as that Season 2 one that you saw earlier. I am going to have some throat syrup after this stream. I didn't get to warm up my voice as much as I would have liked, I think. There's an iron farm hidden inside of this tower. I think you'll get the point. And if you saw the season, you'll probably remember all of them. I think we'll fly in this direction next, towards Corralis's and the potion factory. Now, I don't know if this was a question I was asked, but like, what is your most probably like deep redstone project? This one right here. There's Mumbo's base. Dang. I love this view distance stuff. You can see how close to one another we were. So this, in terms of redstone, was probably like my craziest level project ever. I can't think of anything that rivals this. Like, it is every potion in the game being brewed automagically and compacted into shulker boxes, so that when you take a shulker box full of potions, you are then automatically restocking up the top here. And this came a little too late in the season to be fully utilized. I wanted hermits to come over here and just, you know, never have to worry about brewing a potion. Come over here, get what you need for your mini game, and make it amazing, right? There's a little payment system. Oh yeah, there's the modifying system down the bottom. So, I love the excuses to build redstone contraptions. This was like my own little redstone contraption. I'm having a moment right now. I didn't think I was going to have a moment today. I told y'all. I didn't expect to come in here and have a moment. Oh, Cub fans in chat. Hey, dude. And you used it a lot. That's amazing. Thanks for using it, Cub. I was saying earlier that, you know, I've done the nostalgia tours. I've gone back into old world so much. And I've always been so invested in Hermitcraft. And, you know, obviously I play on it, but like watching other hermits. that it's hard for me to like get nostalgic and stuff, but somehow season 7 wasn't too long ago, and I've just remembered how much of a joy it was to do all of this redstoning. Like, there are some really great redstoners out there, and many projects in this game, it's just a case of use someone else's project, right? So there's not a lot of opportunities to find weird, quirky things to do. And I found that opportunity. I mean, this right here is, I think, partially based off of a few other concepts, and then I kind of like roped them together and figured out how to link it all and make it work. But then this down here, this was me like, right, how do I get a shulker box of potions to go through hoppers, get manipulated to be brewed to another specific type and come back out again? And it was so cool to put together. So you put in a shulker box and it modifies it with glowstone, right? So you can also modify it with redstone and with gunpowder, and so, you know, dang, I love this project. I'm gonna say it now. I slaved over this build. It was a lot of work in creative mode. It was more work in survival mode. Sometimes that drives you a little mad. I also had plans to like fill out the back area full of farming fields that were going to be loosely linked to this building, but that never panned out. We did the whole texturing thing, the shading, and it was like, it was a nightmare, but like, you're always trying to be more creative and do a bigger and better thing. And that, I'm gonna say this right here, I think this is probably maybe one of my best projects, alright? Everyone asks me that, I never know what to answer. I think maybe actually that one was. Down here we got a nether water farm underground. Anyway, I feel like I've focused on my own stuff a little too much. There's some amazing things to see. Let's go in this direction next. Black Ranger PL, thank you for 71 months. Evil X right there. Evil X, what an incredible anniversary. And to think I've been here for more than half of it. 6 years. Time really does fly. It does. That's what time does, right? It just gets away from you. The years keep ticking by. It's all about making sure you're enjoying what you're doing and whatnot along the way. Now, don't overthink it too much. Just try and have fun, which is what we do here in this world. The problem with this right here, I think, is if you look back to the Season 5 minigames area, it was small and compact. And then when you look to this one, it's like it was built to be big and grandiose, but we just didn't have the games to put in it. And I feel like it's an important thing to build areas like this so that they can scale out with demand. Because otherwise you got this big area that doesn't get filled up, unfortunately. This was a cool concept, this mini game. Putting down the armor stands strategically, hooking them up with the fishing rods. I feel like I could probably expand on this game quite a lot, but in a creative context, not in a survival context. How many? I built like 3 mini games here, I guess. This one over here, this was just a bit of madness, I think. So sometimes you've got a concept in your mind that doesn't really pan out the way you want it to. I was picturing, I guess, maybe some of those old capture the wall games where you like played side by side, and the idea was to build the infrastructure for a resettable scoring mechanism where teams had to shoot at the targets, and then the arenas on the side could be ripped out and rebuilt. Well, it turns out it's like a lot of effort to actually design this game and how it could be played, and you know, it was almost great, but it was kind of flawed in execution, and I spent a lot of hours doing this, kind of knowing, you know, it was one of those sunk cost fallacy is what this was. There was a point where I should have realized, this is not going to pan out well, I'm going to spend a lot of time doing this, it's going to get played once and that'll be it. And maybe I should have checked out before that happened, but you know, being a content creator, I kind of want to deliver on my promises, I guess. What season am I on? We're on season 7. And we're going to be looking around it for 10 minutes more. And then the UHC is going to start. Would you ever do cameos in the current season of old hermits or import old bases to new seasons to finish them off? Probably not to both of those. I think both of those things wouldn't really make too much sense. Cubs Pyramid is a great place to check out. Yeah. God, every base this season was pretty incredible. We have to check out Decked Out. I think Cubs Pyramid is a good shout. That was one of my favourite bases this season. Also, I absolutely love Aquitown. This right here, this is the way to build together, I think. Like, Scar and B-Dubs laid down some principles, and everyone else could jump in and expand on what they'd done, and it just came together so well. Corrales' City was mind-blowing, says Weirdly. Yeah, I mean, just everywhere you go this season had mind-blowing stuff. Toon Towers, incredible. We also, obviously, all had a lot more time on our hands to put into the season as well. Like I said earlier, it was like a bittersweet thing. The timing of... not a bittersweet thing. That's what I said about Season 5. You know, like, good can come from bad, right? And our Season 7 adventure was definitely entwined with what was happening around the world. It gave us a larger viewership, and it gave us more time to dedicate to what we love to do. Oh, look at this build! Like, this is just gorgeous. It's just the lobby. So, who hasn't seen Decked Out? Can we get a poll from our glorious mods? Can we get a poll if you've seen Decked Out or not? I want to know, because, like, if you want to jump back and watch some Minecraft videos, Tango Tech's building of the game, and then everyone else playing it was incredible. This is the moment where Tango Tech actually built a game in Minecraft that was like a game you would play outside, right? It wasn't a mini game. It was an actual game that you would play over and over again, and I loved it. I got really into it. I think Efo probably was the one who embraced it the most. Okay, let's see if I can get the poll over on my screen. Sadly, no. 15% of you are sadly no, you haven't seen it. Dang, well. If there's a point in Hermitcraft history that needs checking out and investigating, it's probably this one. So, the game, how do you play it? I mean, there are components to this that are unfortunately missing, but you had like a board, and you would put all your pieces in it, and you'd have to collect sets to score points. And then there would also be like coins that you could exchange over here at the shop for items that you can use inside the game, right? Or over here I think you can exchange items for... Oh god, there's so much to it, right? Like, there's also the deck. So let's just... Oh wait, I can't press a button because I'm in the wrong mode. Can I go back here and just see one of these? Yeah, there you go. So like, you have a deck, right? And your deck will help you find loot, or be stealthier, or have resistance. So you had all these additional mechanics playing out, and you could build your deck over time. Then what you would do each time you go in and play is you would explore and look for coins and goodies in chests. I think you also had a objective that was different every time you played to get in and collect. If I could remember where one of those are, that might be helpful. I'm remembering some moments where I like got caught down here, and it's like a Ravager in this hallway, and it all got pretty hairy. If we drop down to the redstone stuff, maybe this is one of them? I don't know what that is or how it works actually. Okay, so a dropper facing up looks like it. Loot box token, there you go. So you'd have to collect like loot box tokens and then trade them in for other things. So each time you go in and you play around, you start to, build up a deck that makes it easier for you to explore. You build up these items that help you traverse, and you get more of those set items. The whole time, though, you are avoiding the Ravagers. And the walls, they also get pulled down as well. We'll probably see some rows of pistons here and there. And when the walls get pulled down, it allows the Ravagers to see further along. I can't actually find those pistons. Like, here's a spot. I'm sure this is a spot where the walls changed. Or maybe they're above. Ah, there's your pistons. Right, so these lines of redstone like this have probably got pistons below them, and they get pulled up, and it means the Ravagers see you the longer you're in the game. So, Like, absolutely amazing, basically, is what this is. Just unbelievable. And y'all know that Decked Out 2 is coming this season. I will personally be wishing to chip in as much as I can and help out Tango. Because, like, this is insane. And he put an insane amount of effort in. And, you know, back then, like, he had some of us help out, but at the same time, like, a lot more of it was up his sleeve. Whereas now that everyone knows the game, I think everyone's going to be, like, way more willing to chip in. He'll know or understand what he's creating, and maybe you'll see something that's like 2-3 times the size of this. It's gonna be something special. That's for sure. Oh, we also built a bunch of mini games over here, right? So the area that we saw before, you know, that could have done with having a bunch of mini games like this. And then this one looks more complete because it was just a small little area. And by the way, one of the best mini games I built, definitely this one, because it's just so simple and fun. You just throw splash potions at each other, and it's always hilarious, and it's simple and easy to recreate. Like, if you got a server and you got a potion factory, the potion factory might take you a bit of time. That's a good one to build right there. Also, I believe I'm heading towards the pyramid. Well, there it is. Nighter Joy, thank you ever so much for subscribing. Mary Gershwin, thank you for 5 months. Greatly appreciate the support. Greatly appreciate. Alright, so Cub literally just built a massive, massive pyramid. And then everything inside is incredible. So yeah, one thing I'd say about building a pyramid like this is it looks amazing, but it's very repetitive. And if you look up like pyramid builds, you can do like pyramid builds, so, like lots of staged shapes on the outside. So it doesn't look strictly like a pyramid triangle, but you have like lots of inlays like this built. I'd often thought about trying something like that for a Minecraft base concept, but never as big as this. Right, this is just extraordinarily large. And then it gave Cub all the space to build like whatever he wanted inside of it. And it's full of stuff. It's like got mini games, like we're in a mini game area right now. And it's got Cub's very colourful building everywhere. And so much cool stuff. I don't even know what this is right here, but I'm fascinated by it. What is this? It almost looks like a mini game. Yeah, there's actually parts of this that I don't think I've been in before, like this bit right here, although I remember that getting built. Dang, it's just incredible. Just incredible. There's an original pyramid right there. Dang. Oh my! Oh my goodness me! I don't think I've seen this room either. This is amazing. Oh, look at the terracotta floor. I think I remember that bit. Dang. Whew. The hats are like the pharaohs are like all the different rare blocks. That's so cool. So cool. Another moment, says Flower Maria. Yeah, okay, there you go. Season 7's where the moments are, right? And it was like quite recent. So yeah, Pong, oh my god, there are games everywhere here. A few of these, again, we talk about like games with like replay ability. Quite a few of Cubs games here were definitely like, they weren't the sort of games that you want to like play like decked out, but they were definitely like pushing onto that really fun space where you kind of want to play them over and over again. I remember that. Just doesn't seem like a thing we do enough. We build a mini game, we play it a couple of times, and then that's it. Oh yeah, all the mini game names are Tajay, a shot above the rest. Yeah, the names are real. Oh, it's just so cool. It's just so cool what you did with all of this. Dang, and then this must be some sort of farm. I'm unaware of what this is. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Shulker boxes, eh? Yeah, just incredible. Just incredible. And what's above here? Ah, there's still more at the very top, I see. Ooh, Dang. Does it go any higher than that? I think that might be it though. Yeah, that's it. There's a llama at the top though, so watch out. This was also built by Cub, this here. And then somewhere around here, I think Cleo's base is nearby. That was Ren's original base, but then he moved out. Ah, Force's base over here. So Shui away. Thank you for 3 months. I've probably just totally butchered your name, haven't I? Oh, dearie me. So what other parts of Season 7 do y'all want to see? Stan the Manly Man says the first Hermitcraft episode you watched was my Season 7 episode 1. Very cool. I see a lot of people want to see Corralis's and Etho's base, so we'll head over to those. And on the way, we'll see Jevin's base, we'll see Vintage Beef's base. But yeah, Corralis went like this looks like a creative server, this bit, doesn't it? Like, when you log on to creative servers, you see cities on this scale. Corralis did this all in survival. It's the one thing about Hermitcraft that, like, I'm a bit torn on, is just like, survival is such a time sink. If we had a, if we could add faster, like, if there was less friction from playing survival, if there were faster means to, you know, reach the end goal like you see here, we could do so much more of our time. That's one thing I want to say about survival. I'm not saying like we should all play in creative mode. It's just one of those things, like when you appreciate how amazing this all is, and then you realize like, hey, this is built over the course of a year and a half. And like, imagine what this could have been like if it were 3 times easier to do in survival, right? This area would be 3 times as big. That's one of those things I'm like, I'd like to see change in Minecraft a little, you know? Try creative season. I don't think it would work. I really think if you went straight into creative, everyone having access to all blocks, survival is important to, you know, being able to do a season, because it's not just straight building. There's all the adventures you have along the way in survival. You build the farms. It's just like, we know the way the game is. It's a lengthy game, right? It takes a long time. Dang, I forgot that I built that. Huh. Yeah, so this was Pearlescent Moon, who's now actually joined Hermitcraft. I was looking at the builds that she shares on Twitter, and I was just like, that's so cool, that sandcastle. And so I was like, I want to build that. Also, not everyone is a builder, says Zinaba. Exactly, yeah. That's why it won't change. I mean, there's many reasons it won't change, but one of them is because, you know, Hermitcraft is a creative group of people all doing different things, different play styles. So I've just realised something. I'm glad I realised this now. I started streaming a little bit after the turn of the hour, and I've been looking at how long I've been streaming for and not what the time is. Dang, Etho just got some crazy build ideas, this guy, hasn't he? Beautiful use of colours. A little like Cub fan with the colours. Not quite as bold, but oh, just really, actually, no, it is really bold, isn't it? Dang, it's beautiful. Beautiful and colourful. Woo. Right, that is a cool sight right there. So yeah, I realise now that the UHC is going to be starting very soon. Sloth Wolves, thank you so much for the cheers and the biddies. Peeps, if you enjoyed today's stream, be sure to hit the follow button. Let's go see if Joe is raiding. I want to send you all over to Joe today. However, I don't actually see him live. He is live. Got him. Got him right there. So the Hermits are playing at UHC. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be. But I hope you enjoyed this nostalgia tour. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated and cheered. Thank you to all my Patreons. Thank you to the mods and all the peeps gifting the subs. Go enjoy this UHC. And thank you for tuning in with me for a little bit of nostalgia. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.